Hi, and welcome to our video for our mini album using our Recollections collection. This was such a beautiful vintage kit that I knew I had to make a mini album with it. This is really stunning. The album itself is 6 inches by 6 inches. And if you're wondering, okay, what did you use for an album? I just made one myself out of cardstock, this same kind of stuff, bristle board. Everybody calls it something different. Some people call it poster board. You buy it at the dollar store for about $1 a sheet. And I made it up. If you want to know how to make this up, because this is a 4-page, like there's 2 pages on the inside, and then obviously the front and back cover, the spine, and all that kind of stuff. If you want to know how to do that, simply go into our YouTube channel here, and you will see the video in this section on cards and mini albums and stuff. You will see the video for how to make your own album at home. So that'll tell you exactly how to make this stock album with just simple bristle board at home. And to get into this background paper is all done for you. All this cluster is on here. Underneath this actually has this exact same thing. I just made another element and resized it because I wanted to build it up a little bit. And same thing with the butterfly. That is just put up on those foam dots just to give it a little dimension, a little more interest. And Treasures of Yesteryear. This is a digital stamp that I layered onto the paper first and then printed it as one so that it has that already on there for me. If you're wondering how to do the digital stamp and how do I do that, again, go to our how-to section on our YouTube channel, look under how to resize elements with using GIMP, G-I-M-P, and that'll show you exactly how to do that as well. So let's get inside here now, and just wanted to make sure I was centered on my camera there. The inside cover here, Recollections of the Past. Again, this is a digital stamp that I layered onto this paper. This is just a floral paper that I chose, and I layered that on first and printed it off so it would already be on there for me. This tag is, when you look at it, it looks like an old tag. The coloration, the way the texture on it, everything. Mary Fran created that for you. As you can see, it was printed on white paper, but that's what you get when you print it out. A wonderful journal card. You can put a photo on the back, or vice versa. You could put your photo on the front, journal on the back, whatever you wanted to do. And when I glued this down, I simply glued only the edges so that I would have this pocket in order to place this into. So we'll slide that guy back in there. Page 2. So this number 9 plate, again, this is an element, and even the number 9, that's all done for you. I didn't do anything. I just simply print and cut this one out. Put it up on a little bit of foam dots again. I wanted kind of something unique. And this one, I've split into 2 pages. I used the top part as the flowers, and the bottom part, I used the envelope. And as you can see, I kind of cut it apart, so that way it is already, it still has the envelope look to it, but that way I could get these both on here. I just really like the look of it. Inside each of these is a pocket. Okay, and you slide this out. This is a tag, says Portraits of the Past, just a simple paper. So that way, as well as when I glued this down, I didn't glue it all the way down here. I only glued the top portion. So that way you can slide a photo under there. Or again, you could use this as a journal card. So there's one in the bottom in the envelope section here. And there's another one with a different tag that goes in the top. Again, this is nice because it's a blank label. You can utilize that blank label in order to write on maybe what this was about or whatever, right? You choose whatever you want to do with this. So let's just slide this guy back in here before we move on. Get everything out of the way for us. Now this page, this flips open into a top like this, right? So again, a great big photo area. Area for you, just a nice muted paper. Gives you lots of space for photos in here. You can add a journal tag if you wanted. I left this one blank. This one here, every faded photograph contains a story. This I put on and I used a tab, which you can see at the back here. You can see how I glued that on. Okay, so I just left a little 1/4-inch tab so I could glue it together. This opens up so you can write on the back of it and journal on it and put your photo in here. Again, I like the idea of it. This one now pulls down Beautiful smoked floral. Awesome framed image. And again, this is just print and cut. I didn't do anything to this. I didn't add anything in here. And then when I did cut it out, I did and glued it down. I just glued down the edges so that way, which edge did I leave open here? Actually, I think I left this edge. Yeah, I left this edge open here. So that way you could insert your photo into there and away you go. Now, in case you're wondering, the trick to building this one is build your page with the back on it, build your page, and then I had gluing strips, glued them to this back page first, okay? These little tabs, these little quarter inch tabs that I was telling you about here. I have that on this top one and on the bottom of this one. So I glued them onto this back page first, okay? Then glued the entire set down. So then that way you don't see those, there's just that one little tab there, and really I could have put another backing paper on here, but I wanted this in case somebody wanted another photo or to journal, even though you kind of do see that, you know, I guess maybe I could have done that better, but I guess we all have a different look at it. So there's page 2. Page 3, another gorgeous, gorgeous floral. Like, look at that. The beautiful tone of the red. It has that beige in there. It is just so lush. The florals in here are just stunning, and they really have that vintage feel. So this, I've created a belly band, okay? And I just simply printed out the black paper here and then cut it to that size. And again, I left tabs on the top and on the bottom here, and then bent those tabs over, glued them onto this red paper before I pasted this down. So simple way to make a belly band for those of you that didn't know. These brads here, beautiful vintage look to them. Those I just put on some foam dots and glued them down. Those come to you right in the kit. And same thing as this beautiful tag, Captain and Cadet, Celebrated Uniform Tailoring, superior quality since 1665. That also is put on foam dots just to enhance that page. Okay, page 4 here, or I guess page 1, 2, this is page 3. Page 3 is another simple floral. Because I wanted this as a big, large photo page, this date is, and again, you can write right in there. It kind of looks like an old weathered chalkboard. And I've left this open at the bottom so you can tuck your photo under there. And this cluster at the bottom with the groceries and provisions, the envelope, the butterfly, all that there, again, done for you as a corner cluster. You simply just cut, well, I had my Cricut cut it out for me. I didn't have to do that one. But put it up on some foam dots as well. So again, the picture can slide under there, so I'm not covering that up when you put your photo in there. But a great large photo area for you. Page, the next page here is, again, a very simple one with a simple pocket that I created. This Portraits of the Past. This is a tag that you get right in the kit. Again, I did nothing to this. You print and cut it. This one was easy enough. I just cut it by hand here. And again, I wanted this so that I had an area on the back to journal. You could have also made this larger. I wanted something small because I was thinking of it as just a journal card. And then your photo goes in behind here. This goes in as a journal card for you into this pocket, and then you can write in the date in this moment. And again, this tag here, print, cut it, that is it. It is all assembled. Mary Fran has done all the hard work for us all there so that we can just simply have that in there. Now, the pocket again is just a simple, I printed out a piece of background paper, thought this is about the size that I wanted it because I wanted to leave lots of room for photo, and just glued down on the edges here. You know, you don't glue down on the top for those of you that are wondering how it was made. Just glued down on the 3 edges here, leaves your pocket open for you. The next page here, this was a mini page and is actually kind of sort of part of this page, if you will. Okay, and I'll show you how I talk a little bit about how I made it at the end here. But this railroad, Nitwit Junction railroad pass, railroad ticket, again, unbelievable the things you get in here. And along with this beautiful tall black background, all weathered and worn, kind of looks like it's been faded. Again, I just glued it down at the bottom portion here so that the top was left open so I can slide a photo in there. Very easy to do. The last component to this was yesterday's stories, today's treasures. Again, a beautiful frame. This is, again, I only glued down 3 sides, okay? Left the top open so you can still slide your photo in there. And the butterfly and tag, well, I combined those 2 elements. Each of these are individual elements in the kit. I combined the 2 of them, printed it as one item because I wanted them kind of both on there. Just put it on some foam dots just to give it a little bit more interest. And the backing page for this one is this cluster, again, is done for you. I layered the bike onto my paper before I printed and printed that as one. And this muted watercolor background is so stunning all by itself. It's such gonna enhance a photo when you put a large photo in here. And again, when I glued it down, I only glued down this bottom area so that way you can tuck your photo and it'll hold your photo in there for you. So this is actually from this part, and this part, this is all one page on this side. This is page 4. So how did I do that part? Okay. Well, it was actually very simple. You take your back here, glue on your element, you glue this page together, which is the backing. The front, you put on all your paths. This page here, I assembled it all. Now, to put it together so it all holds together is, if you look at this page and then here's the front and then the back. Well, before I glued that together, okay, I glued, there is a gluing tab, again, that 1/4 inch strip left on the edge of this paper. And I glued that in between these papers when I was gluing it up. So this actually goes in underneath the front and back paper so that it can hang on to that for it, okay? And on this front paper, there is, you can't see it, there is a gluing strip on this big front paper. So once this is all put together, I took this whole section of all this, used the gluing strip, glued it onto the back of this paper, and then glued this down. So it was that simple. Hopefully that makes some sense to you. Hopefully I'm explaining it correctly. And lastly, our last page. This torn page, again, I did nothing to this. Mary Fran has created this for us all so that this beautiful look with the ruffled torn page here, another background paper here, that is all done for you. That comes exactly to you in the kit, as well as does this tag. And again, I wanted a large photo area, just glued down the bottom portion of this tag so that the top is left open. I can tuck my photo in there, and a little journal area to write in a name or a date or a place or whatever it was. My last page for my inside back cover, this one I did a little more layering on, and as you can see, I created a pocket. So this page here is actually the same as the front page here. Those are 2 identical pages, but you can see this one has been shrunk to the 6x6 size. This one I pretty much left as you would get it, as a 12x12, as you download it from us. So I wanted that large look to it and everything else, and I knew I was going to be covering some part of it with this pocket. And obviously, this ticket comes exactly like this to you. I actually made this a little larger, and you can see by the enlargement, it still retained all of its quality, image quality and everything, but I wanted it to tuck into my pocket here, have some journal area or photo for the front, whatever you want to do with it. The pocket part, I really I didn't want to have too much raised stuff in here because it's already getting kind of thick. So this is all one. The wording in life, it is always about the journey rather than the destination, as well as the compass, the detour sign, the flower. All that is one item that you, as a digital stamp, that you get in the kit. As well, I used 2 background papers. Okay, I just sized it appropriately. Now I could have simply printed this out, actually put that piece on there first, whatever. But because I was layering this on, I wanted to print it all as one. So again, in my program, in GIMP before, well actually I use Photoshop, but you can do this in GIMP. You simply place your background paper down, place this one over the top of it, put your stamp on, and print that as one item. So that way you get it. It does give a similar look. Sure, when you feel it, the texture isn't there, but like I said, because of the largeness that I wanted this stamp in here, I couldn't really put that on there. Okay? And lastly is the back page. And there it is as well. But this time, Mary Fran has done all this for us. This is a background paper, and I simply sized it from the 12 by 12 that you get when you download it from us in the kit to a 6 by 6. So it fit this. I liked the scale of it. I didn't think it was too small. This is already, again, the torn edge, the additional background paper, that is all done for you. You don't have to do anything. This is simply print it out, cut it, you're done. There is nothing to it. And that is our mini album, folks. I really hope that you enjoyed seeing this. And again, this is our Recollect collection. I did use the bundled version of this so that I used stuff out of the little bits, stuff out of the 2 paper pack, all that kind of stuff. Because obviously, you know, there's quite a bit to this album. I wanted lots of options. But I really hope that you'll go over to our store right now and check this out, because there is so many options for this. Not only is it vintage, so for whether you had old photos that you wanted to use, whether you took some current photos and made them black and white and put them in there from a recent trip that you took or recent family photos or whatever. But as well, the kit also does double duty and works really well as a man's theme. So if you're trying to make a man's layout or a mini album for your grandfather about a time when maybe he worked at a certain place, or, you know, things he did as a memory album, it certainly can lean that way. There are some darker colors, as you saw in here. I've got some of the lighter ones in here. But as you can see from the smoke back and the way this frame is done, all that kind of stuff, it certainly can go that way for you in order to do it for men. So thanks once again for tuning into our video. I hope that you'll take a look at our Nitwit Collections logo down there in that far right corner of the screen here. Click on that to subscribe to our channel so you'll always be made aware when we have new projects like this come out, new video kit releases, whatever's going on our channel. As well, give me the thumbs up and let me know. Leave a comment if you had something to say about the album. Maybe you had a question about how I put a page together. I went through it too quickly, or I was maybe confusing on it. Don't hesitate to leave me a message. Thanks again, and I really hope that you'll go check this out in our store. Grab a copy of this kit for yourself and begin your creative journey, because it really is a lovely journey. Thanks again, and happy creating.